So give me one method of solving quadratics. No. Completing the square. You pick the hard one first. All right. If I have to complete the square, let's do the hard one first. What I'm saying is that if this equation was a perfect square, what would I do? So, okay, about half the room isn't actually watching. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. All right. So last week we had some problems remembering some of the stuff we'd done before. So it's really important that we know the different methods. Like the last test, I am going to ask you to use every method to solve. Sometimes you get to choose, but sometimes I'm going to tell you what to do. So if I ask you to complete the square, what am I meant to do?
You put them in, so you put a bracket and then you do x plus 5.
Okay, don't skip steps. So I understand what you're doing and you're doing the right thing, but I don't want you to skip steps because we're more likely to make mistakes. Josiah, what should I do?
You add up.
No.
X.
Nope.
Oh, you have to make the thing. Okay, so you do minus 1. Right?
What am I doing? Good. So this still is there. If this was a perfect square, what belongs in this space? What goes here? 25. Good. So it's not 100. It's not 10 squared. It's half of this squared. All right. So half of this is 5. 5 squared is 25. So what do I put here? Minus 25. So what you were trying to do before, Neil, one was skip to the next step. So what is the next step?
Bracket x plus 5x. 5.
Right, good. So the reason I don't want you to skip this step is because this bit gets missed. Okay, so this is minus 24 equals 0, right? Plus 1 minus 25. So if you try and skip from step 1 to 2, you're likely to mess something up out here. Don't try and do too much at once. Okay. Am I done?
No.
Why not? Okay, so if I was just asked to complete the square, this would be fine. But if I'm asked to solve it by completing the square, I'm not done. I need to get x by itself. So as you just said, I'm going to move the 24. What do I do next? Square root. Yeah?
5.
Good. Positive and negative square root. You must take one of each. Now what? How do I move the 5? Okay. So you can type this into a calculator and get your 2 decimal approximations. That is how you solve. If you're asked to leave your answer in exact form, this is exact form, okay? This is what is known as surd form, remember? But if you're asked for a decimal approximation, do that. If you're asked for surd form, leave it like that. Okay, this is completing the square. All right, so what's another method for solving a quadratic? Factorizing, excellent. So let's do some factorizing. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of different ones here, different types. So, right, what about this one? How do I factorize this?
10 and 1.
10 and 1, excellent. My 2 numbers that add to the middle and multiply to the last. Am I done?
No.
Why not?
Yeah.
Good. X is negative 10 and negative 1. Just a reminder about this. What we're trying to do is make this equation equal 0, right? Anything times 0 is 0. So what I'm trying to do here is either make this bracket equal 0 or this bracket equal 0, because that will make the equation equal 0. That's why it's negative 10 and negative 1. What if I have
x and then 7, and then square. So x minus 7 bracket square. Right?
no.
No, what?
Good. This is a DOPS thing. X plus 7x minus 7, right? Difference of perfect squares. This is DOPS. This is x squared minus 7 squared, right? So whenever you've got something squared minus something squared, you've got 1 plus 1 minus. So that means x is negative and positive 7, right? Both of those answers. All right, that is DOPS. What if I have, okay, I am going to erase that. No, I'm not going to have 3 brackets. Not that mean.
You're gonna have like 3x, yeah, something like that.
Okay, what am I doing here? Okay, I see what you're doing, but there's no need. Why not?
Oh, you can divide.
Good. So what should you always look for when you're factorizing? Common factors. So we always look for common factors first. So what have I got? And okay, so can I factorize this? What are my 2 numbers? 5 and 2. What's what? Good. Minus 5. Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, that should have been a 2. Which means that should have been a 4. Yeah, that's not going to work. Which makes that 3. Sorry, I messed this up. All right, so then what are my x solutions?
Minus 5.
No.
2.5.
No,
How is it?
it's not.
10. Oh, negative 10 and 6.
Nope.
It's just like
5 all negative.
Yeah, it's just 5 and negative 3. Don't worry about this. So what you were saying would be true if the 2 was inside the brackets. Okay, but it's outside the brackets, so it doesn't matter. The 2 outside the brackets, instead of looking like this, it makes it look like this. But the intercepts are the same. That is a terrible drawing. But the intercepts are the same, but it stretches it out, right? That's what this 2 does. Okay, so this is 5 and negative 3. All right, let's do one more, which is more like what you were saying before. Okay, so what if I had 3x squared? Hang on a second. Oh, I don't want that. What?
We like that. There you go.
All right, whoops. No need for a bracket. All right, what if I have something like this and I want you to factorize this? Yeah, now I'm going to do that multiplication thing that we talked about last time. There is no common factor, so we're just going to bring this across. So I get x squared plus 11x minus 12. All right, now what are my numbers? 12 and 1.
No, this word.
What's what? Good. Plus 12 minus 1. Now what do I do? Divide by 3. So both of these get divided by 3 and simplify. So what's that? X plus 4. 3x minus 1. Excellent. So then what are my solutions?
1/3, 1/4.
1/3. One. Remember, you put the last thing on top of the first thing, or it's this, isn't it? It's just 1/3. Positive 1/3. Right? -4, positive 1/3. Oh my goodness, Josiah, stop it. Put it down. You meant to be paying attention, buddy. All right. We have one more method for solving quadratics. What is it? That's a lot of people yelling at me at once. What was it? Quadratic formula. Do we know it? Oh, hang on. Good. Well done. Between about 5 of us, we got it. All right. So swap colors. Actually, let's put a number in front of there. All right, let's say that I have this. How do I use this formula? What is A? -1. What's B? -4. And what's C? Good. What does this graph look like? Right, it's a frowny face graph because it's a negative x squared. This is a sad graph. It's negative. All right, let's put it all in. So negative B is? What's negative B? 4, right? Because B is already negative. Plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Okay, so I'm going to simplify this before I type it into my calculator because it makes it a bit easier. So this is 16 plus what? 40, right? These multiply all over -2. That makes it a bit easier to type into my calculator. Whatever the answer to that is, I don't know, whatever it is, you can type that into a calculator and figure it out. How many answers am I going to get? 2, because 1 is plus and 1 is minus. Good. All right, I have a worksheet for you today.